Counter-Strike is a game that has its ups and downs, and normally on this channel we talk about the ups where teams are playing really good, players are winning tournaments, but today I want to change that a little bit and I want to talk about this Astralis versus Mouse game that happened in the semifinals of PGL Cluj-Napoca, because of course this game, Astralis had a 12-4 lead and they lost the map. So I want to go back through and review the game and look at how good they were playing and see if we can figure out what went wrong and caused them to choke this lead and of course the entire series. And we'll get to that right after a quick word from SkinsMonkey. Today's video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. Now, if you're not familiar with SkinsMonkey, this is a trade site that allows you to take some of the old and crusty skins out of your inventory and you can actually trade them in for something a little bit new, a little bit shinier than what you have right now. And it's really easy to do this actually. All you need to do is log in through Steam, pick the skins that you don't want to use anymore, grab the ones that you do, and then click trade. All trades will pretty much happen immediately, and any balance that you don't use in your trade actually stays on the site for you to use for any future trades that you decide to do. And right now, if you use the link in the description, you can actually get a 35% deposit bonus, and that's good for up to $100. So let's say you deposit $100, you would actually get $135 on the site if you use my link. So make sure you check out SkinsMonkey, and let's hop right back into the video. So obviously at the beginning of the game, Astralis could do pretty much everything that they wanted to, and so I'm going to show you a few rounds on the T side and give you an idea of how they were playing this. So this round in particular, we see how they're approaching Banana. They have Device playing out of it, and the idea here is so that the CTs can use all their utility, their mollies, their HEs, their smokes, and that way you can just walk back up and take it later. You can't hold it forever on CT side, so you'll see this a lot on Inferno. Of course, you'll also see some teams get inside and play and contest, but we'll talk about a few of those rounds later on. Now in this specific round, they have 4 people in alt mid. The idea is they want to put pressure on Bracket, which is this part of the map right here, maybe an arch smoke, maybe a lane molly, and just try to put that pressure to force rotates. And it goes pretty well. If we speed the round up, we'll see here from Device's perspective, they just get Banana back for free. They see that this smoke is thrown, and normally that's a sign that the CTs are just going to be playing sight and buying time. And again, this is all just well-known Inferno theory. This goes back to probably even CS 1.6, if I'm being completely honest with you. And now the execute is about to come in, and we'll watch this from Brawlin's perspective because he's actually going to see the smoke flying through the air, and he's going to block the smoke. Now, this coffin smoke, since it's missed, is no longer going to do a very good job at stopping Brawlin from fighting, so he's going to come through the smoke and he can actually fight with exertion in the back of the site, which is what he's doing right now. And this is pretty disruptive. You see Astralis is caught off guard and they don't really have any option except for to spam the smokes, but luckily for them, Brawlin gets killed by Device while he's trying to fall off, and because there was significant alt mid pressure early in the round, they still have Yabi hanging out to hold for rotates. You would call this baiting if you were in a silver lobby, but in a pro lobby this makes a ton of sense because obviously Yabi is sitting here making sure nobody can flank them, and if nobody ends up clearing towards mid to go to flank late round, well then he can do exactly what he's doing right now, and he's kind of an insurance policy. He's still bottom mid, so if he needs to go back Banana, he has time, but if they do have room to breathe, which they do, he can go for the flank, and eventually he can just end up winning them the round. Easy peasy. Now, I did say that we would cover a fast banana control round, so here we go. Kadian's going to get a pretty good spawn, and he's going to just throw a car molly as well as this smoke right here. Now, this smoke is thrown from spawn. I'm not going to show you the lineup, but the idea is it's thrown from spawn. It'll put out that close molly that the CTs like to throw, and Kadian can actually get in front of the smoke, and then he can have a teammate flash half wall for him to catch somebody off guard. Really good opening, Exertion was none the wiser, and that's a clean conversion. Now off the back of that, Kadian did see the utility that was thrown for the CTs, and he has a pretty good idea that there was 3 people to start the round at B, and so he's going to immediately organize the troops to go up mid. This is basic Counter-Strike 101, but it's again important to note that even though we're talking about an Astralis Choke, they're still playing really good Counter-Strike, and not only are they playing good Counter-Strike, I would even argue some of these rounds they played perfect Counter-Strike. Here's one of those rounds that we have here. We have a standard Inferno round. This is just regular Inferno. We have a gamble of 4A for the CTs. The idea is that we know that they've taken Banana, and if we, expect them to execute, we'll just save with our 4A and we'll just go again next round. When we have a significant lead, we can play like this. But if they come A, well, we have 4 and we'll probably win. And Yabi can do a really good job at maintaining this. He can smoke them off. He can do a lot of things. But let's look at this A setup. So we have Device in the cubby, and you're about to witness what is probably the cleanest CS2 round I've ever seen. So you see Kadian organizing the call here. He drops a molly over to his teammate, then he nades. It kind of looks like they're just playing from sight. Maybe that nade came from pit, who knows? But Spinks is just going to be patiently waiting here. The flash is going to catch him, and Kadian is going to pick up that kill. Now remember, I said Device is in this cubby. Well, as soon as this arch smoke fades, Stound is now going to reflash in towards mid, and they're going to pick up Exertion, and now Device, he will get traded, but he's done the damage. They feel like they have to run up lane, and they run right into Kadian. This round, I thought it was over. When I watched this round on my co-stream on twitch.tv/AustinC_, by the way, go follow the stream, I thought it was just over. There was literally no way Astralis could lose if they were playing this lights out. And after a round like that, they're feeling extremely confident, so Device is just going to go for a mid pick, and well, not only is he going to go for it, he's going to get it, and then after that, Yabby is going to find a kill through the smoke, then Cadian's going to find a kill through the smoke, and they're just going to outright win this round and secure a 12th. It's now time for the moment that you've all been waiting for. We've seen how well Astralis has played so far, so let's talk about how they managed to throw this lead. So round 17 starts with a re-aggression in towards top banana, and honestly it goes pretty well. They go 1 for 1 and they're able to back up, but since it's still 12-4, Brawlin's going to stick around, and since he's the IGL of this team now, he's going to take a calculated risk to re-aggress into the fight, and he's going to find Cadian and get info on a second. Fair play to Brawlin. It's a little bit of a desperation play. I don't mind it. Off of that, though, Astralis is going to gamble Device over towards B, and it's going to end up being the wrong choice because now Stare is all alone, and even though I want to say that maybe they could have done something different, I don't think they could, and they choose to save. Nothing wrong with this round. The next round, Device is going to take this saved op, and he's going to play pretty reserved in towards lane. Unfortunately, the flash is going to get thrown for Mouse, and Spinx is going to capitalize off of that. Device is going to go down early, and what do you have after this? Well, Astralis is going to make another gamble stack in towards B, and Mouse is going to call the bluff on them. It's going to be the wrong choice, and Cadian is going to end up going down. He tries to win the round here, though, and I'm not really the biggest fan of this play. He goes for the hero play, but this is going to cost the op, even though they are going to save the rest of the guns. Now, even though they've done a good job at keeping their money good, Brawlin is feeling pretty spicy, and he's going to go for a fast banana play. Remember, Cadian did this in one of the rounds earlier, and so he's got an idea. He's going to get up here and run through a molly and completely delete Yabby from the server. Again, not a lot that Yabby could do here. And what do we see again? Well, we see a gamble stack in towards B, but Brawlin, I have to give him a lot of credit because he's picked up on this pretty quickly, and he's going to make an entire round around it. So again, even though they come back to re-clear A, eventually Astralis is going to do what they do best, and they're going to gamble stack B. And off the back of this, we have Jimmy, who is a very strong lurker. We've covered him many times on the channel. He knows, because Brawlin has told him, that it's likely Arch will be open. So while the B hit is coming in, you'll notice Device gets spotted with the op. And now remember, if the opper is B, well then who is going to be opping Arch? Nobody. So then Jimmy takes the calculated risk to walk up the Arch. And not only that, once he gets up here, he's actually able to call his team back. And what did you look at this? Stare is all alone again. And even though Jimmy didn't contribute by getting a kill, he took all of the positioning and called them to come back, which is winning them the round. Now, obviously, Brawlin did set this up, but you see everybody is contributing, and now Cadian goes for the clutch, but this is going to be where they lose their last gun that they've been saving, and their money is now in question. And remember, we have identified a weakness at this point for Astralis, and so has Brawlin. He knows the Arch is going to be exceptionally weak, so he's making a target. We see this round in particular, Jimmy's going to be lurking halls. He's going to get the kill on Stare. We know that he's been their A player, and so do Mouse. And off the back of this, they're going to immediately accelerate in towards Arch. And this is the correct play. And once Jimmy gets that kill, they're going to accelerate up Arch, and it's pretty much just a complete shutdown again. They just wrapped the site. All of the players that were playing here, they have no backup. There is no rotate, and that's just another dominant round for Mouse. So after a save round, Astralis calls a timeout, and surely we expect them to be addressing the Arch gap going into round 22. But hilariously, they actually don't. They play 3 in towards B again, and Mouse just immediately run Arch because there's nobody. Guys, there's nobody. There's nobody playing Arch. They're just going Arch every round, and Astralis is losing every round because of it. Do you understand what is happening? Now, I understand that there's probably something like, oh, well, they surely won't do it again. They're just going to keep doing it, man. They have nothing to lose. They already lost the map, and you're just letting them run it back. Like, oh my goodness, it was so frustrating to watch. Round 23, and we finally see some sort of adjustment because we do have fast-ish banana control from Astralis. Exertion will get a spam kill through the smoke, but the Astralis team will get a trade back with the nade onto Brawlin. But again, they do this thing where they just tend to over-rotate in towards B. I don't know if maybe scrims haven't been going well. I don't know what's going on the B site, but they've left Device all alone in A. Now, luckily for them, Jimmy gets caught going for an aggressive Halls pick, which does save them quite a bit, and it lures Cadian to come back towards the A site, where Exertion is hilariously taking the Arch gap again. But this time, of course, Cadian will get the better of him, and now it's a 4v2, and there's surely no way that Mouse will be able to win this one, and it should be all over. Spinx gets one onto Device, but oh no. You see it again. Torzy gets a kill. They just fight a little bit too aggressively, and they open up the door. It's like they're in a hurry to close it down. Cadian will find a kill as well, but now Torzy has no choice but to hide in a smoke. Again, Astralis should be winning this one, but they just take too long, and Torzi's able to get away after a really messy spray. Maybe the nerves are coming in, and he just backs up. There's no kit on site, and Cadian can't do anything except for just hope that Torzi panics, but he doesn't, and that's going to be another round stolen back for Mouse. They're just playing like they're panicking, and they probably are, to be fair. They're on stage, and they're choking a big lead. They all know it. It's in the back of their head. They're like, don't choke, don't choke, don't choke. We're choking, we're choking. Now, for the final round of the half, Astralis do a really good job at making sure that there is no arch gap, but this time they actually do the reverse, and they do a gamble stack towards A. Yabby is here holding a flash for Cadian, but he is still leaning far back to where they are worried that they could be ending A. Now, I get it that Mouse has been ending A a lot, but you've also been making it really easy for them, so of course they have, but they just go for a 5-man execute here, and Astralis is playing so safe on the B site that, quite frankly, they really can't do anything but concede the site, and it's going to be a 5v5 retake. It literally looks like we're playing a retake server out here, a community retake server, and obviously, since their utility is very strapped since it's late in the round, they really don't have a choice but to just face the reality that they just lost 8 rounds in a row, and now they have to play overtime. Now, after a devastating choke to play overtime, you're not going to be happy, but this is where you're going to see the most egregious mistakes in the entire review here. So we see Cadian against the entry, and he's going to just stand there and body block Yabby. Okay, and now off the back of this, Stown is going to decide that he also wants to go spectate, and so it's just giving back the man advantage to Mouse, and of course they make quick work of Cadian and just take the B site, and then they take the first round in overtime. So Astralis do end up winning the next round, but we don't really care about that because we want to care about Yabby. Yabby is like the only person on Astralis that seemed to want to win this tournament. He was the highest rated player for Astralis at this event, and he also just played really good in every series that I watched. He gets the opening kill onto Brawlin, and then he just holds on to Banana, he takes control, and he's just making sure not to grief. But I can't say the same for the other guys on Astralis. Now, we start with Device. He's going to be lane. He's dodging the flash. He heard the sound cue. It's fantastic. He gets his kill, and now Stare just needs to get one, and he falls. And he falls, and then he dies. And now Cadian, he just needs to get one kill here, and we're good to go. Well, he doesn't. Well, that's fine. As long as Stown doesn't decide to grief this round by running through this Moto smoke, there is no way that where is he going? Why is he doing? Oh my goodness. Why? Well, just wait. Yabby. Poor Yabby. Poor Yabby. He is just watching his teammates die as he's coming up mid. And now he's just sitting here waiting. He's like, oh God, please don't let me be the one to make the mistake everybody sees. Everybody else troll, but don't let it be my fault. But luckily, he will end up finding Torzi, and he saves Astralis, but really, I don't know if they saved anybody because now they have to play more. But luckily now Astralis is back on the T side, and they only need to win 2 rounds. Remember, it seems like a long time ago, but Astralis actually played a very good T side, and one of the things that they did was this fast banana control, so they want to do it again. Unfortunately, this time Exertion will get the better of them, and also Yabby will go down on the other side of the map to Jimmy, and well, this round didn't really get off the ground. Exertion does give a kill back by running into the wall. I don't know who put these walls here on the top of Banana. Everybody's running into them. But yeah, they end up going to lose the round. There's not really much this Stare and Device can do, even though, like I said, they do give it their best. So if Fast Banana is not working, maybe we could try a little bit more passive. We have Device. He's going to go for some spams. Maybe we could just get something to work. Look at that. We got the pick. Brawlin gets to trade back. Really, it's not a big deal. But unfortunately, Device is going to get killed by the nade, and Cadian's going to try to run through, and he'll go down as well, which means that Fast Banana didn't work. Slow Banana didn't work. What could possibly work? What about that arch gap? Remember, Astralis had a huge arch gap. Yabby said, you know what? Let's go see. I remember my team was giving up the arch gap. Maybe they are too. Well, as he finds out, they actually are. He gets a quick double kill, and that looks like they might have saved the round. But, well, Stare, he's going to lose the bomb lane, and now Yabby again. Poor Yabby, he just has no chance to win this one, and it's, you know, there's nothing he could do. Look, they're lined up perfectly, and he just peeks and he dies. Now I'm going to pause on this final round. This is just a spoiler for you. Astralis is going to lose right here. Now, I want you to think, if you're a Cadian in this situation and you need to come up with one call that's going to get your team over the line, take you to second overtime, what would you call? Something that you've always ran on your team, a set strat. Maybe a default that you run that's really strong. Maybe you just want to go take Fast Banana by yourself because this worked earlier. You know, this is what he does. He takes Fast Banana, he says, you know what, this worked earlier, and he does it again. He's taking matters into his own hands here, but I do think that he might take it too far because he tries to win the game for his team, but instead he ends up just outright losing. He goes for the duel onto Torzi, and he gives up an immediate 5v4 to Mouse. And now there's pretty much no way that Astralis is going to win with the buy that they have. They're going to go for for a B execute. They're just going to group up and they're going to all in. Luckily, there is only 2 players here, but it's not going to be enough, and Torzi and Exertion will combine to close this game out, and that is how Astralis managed to choke a 12-4 lead versus Mouse today. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and if you guys did make it this far, leave a like and comment your favorite part, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one.